The interrogation chamber aboard the Zephyrian dreadnought Void Talon hummed with an ominous energy field designed to amplify psychological pressure. Commander Vexthul studied the readings on his neural interface, mandibles clicking with satisfaction. 47 species had broken under this treatment within the first rotation. The human would be no different. Sarah Chen sat motionless in the center of the chamber, her wrists bound by energy shackles that responded to elevated stress hormones by tightening. Blood from earlier questioning had dried on her uniform, but her eyes remained focused on something beyond the walls, something her captors couldn't see. Day 14, Vexthul announced, his voice translated through the universal communicator with mechanical precision. Your fleet has abandoned you. Your homeworld believes you dead. Tell us the location of Earth's defense grid command codes, and we will grant you a swift termination. Sarah's lips curved into what the Zephyrians had learned was called a smile. It was the same expression she'd worn every day since her capture, and it unnerved them more than screaming would have. You know, she said, her voice hoarse but steady, my grandfather once told me a story about a man who was imprisoned for 27 years. When they finally released him, instead of seeking revenge, he became the leader of his entire planet. Vexthul's sensory tendrils twitched. Human stories were irrelevant data. Your grandfather is dead. Your species will join him soon. Maybe. Sarah nodded thoughtfully. But the funny thing about humans, we have this weird habit of passing things down, stories, ideas, dreams. My grandfather never met Nelson Mandela, but Mandela's story became part of him, and now it's part of me. The alien commander gestured to his subordinate, Sub-Commander Crix, who activated a neural disruptor. Waves of agony coursed through Sarah's body, designed to scramble human brain chemistry and induce despair. She gritted her teeth, muscles spasming, but when the device powered down, she was humming. Crix's head crest flattened in confusion. Commander, the neural scan shows she's experiencing pain as designed, but her mental state is anomalous. What is that sound you're making? Vexthul demanded. Sarah paused her humming. Oh, that? It's called We Shall Overcome. Another thing that got passed down. My grandmother sang it during the climate wars when the water ran out. Her grandmother sang it during something called the Civil Rights Movement. Humans have been singing it for, probably 300 years now? She resumed humming, the melody simple but somehow resonant in the sterile chamber. Vexthul studied his prisoner with growing unease. The Zephyrian Empire had conquered 47 star systems by understanding that every species had a breaking point. Fear, pain, isolation, these were universal constants. Yet this human seemed to be drawing strength from somewhere beyond herself. Increase neural disruption to level 7, he ordered. Sarah's body convulsed as the machine overloaded her nervous system. Through gritted teeth, she continued humming. Then impossibly, she began to sing words in a language the translator couldn't parse. What language is that? Crix whispered. Cherokee. Sarah gasped during a brief respite. My great-great-grandmother's language. She sang it on something called the Trail of Tears when they forced her people from their homes. The song means, we remember who we are. Vexthul felt something unfamiliar, a cold sensation spreading through his thorax. Among his people, identity was tied to the collective, to the empire. Individual will was a tool to be honed or discarded, as needed. But this human spoke of identity as something that transcended individual existence, something that connected her to others across vast stretches of time. You're trying to demoralize us with stories of your ancestors' suffering, he said, though his voice lacked its earlier certainty. Sarah laughed, and the sound was neither bitter nor broken. Suffering? No, Commander. I'm telling you about survival, about the accumulation of hope across generations. Every story I know, every song, every stupid joke my family told at dinner, they're all alive in here. She tapped her temple. And when I don't make it back, someone else will carry them forward. Your death will be meaningless. Your species will be extinct within a cycle. Will we? Sarah tilted her head. You've been fighting us for 3 years now? How's that going for you? Vexthul's silence spoke volumes. The human resistance had been unexpectedly persistent. See, Commander, you think hope is just wishful thinking. But for humans, hope is a survival strategy we've been perfecting for thousands of years. When the ice ages came, we hoped for spring and figured out how to make fire. When the plagues came, we hoped for cures and invented medicine. When the bombs fell, we hoped for peace and built something better from the ashes. She leaned forward, as much as her restraints allowed. You know what really scares you? It's not that humans are stronger or smarter than other species. It's that we're contagious. Every species you've conquered has submitted because they were alone. But humans don't fight alone. We fight for everyone who came before us and everyone who will come after. Sub-Commander Crick stepped closer to his superior. Commander, I've been monitoring communications from our occupied territories. There are reports of unusual resistance activities. Other species seem to be adopting human tactics. Vexthul felt the cold sensation spread to his appendages. What kind of tactics? Nonviolent protests, underground educational networks, cultural preservation societies. They're calling it hope networks. Sarah smiled wider. Told you we were contagious. The chamber fell silent except for the hum of machinery. Vexthul realized with growing horror that his certainty, the foundation of Zephyrian strength, was cracking. This human hadn't broken under torture because she wasn't fighting for herself alone. She was connected to something larger, something that couldn't be destroyed by killing her or even her entire species. You're trying to contaminate us with your weakness, he said, but the words felt hollow. No, Commander. I'm trying to show you what you've forgotten. Sarah's voice grew gentle. Before your empire, before your conquests, your people must have had stories too. Dreams that carried them through dark times. Hope isn't weakness. It's the strongest thing in the universe because it can't be killed. You can destroy every human ship, burn every human world, but you can't destroy an idea whose time has come. Vexthul stared at his prisoner, understanding finally why 47 species had failed where humans succeeded. They hadn't just been fighting a military force. They'd been fighting 10,000 years of accumulated hope, crystallized into an unbreakable determination to survive and thrive. In the depths of space, the human fleet regrouped, their rescued crews singing old songs and sharing older stories. And across the galaxy, on 47 conquered worlds, other voices began to join them. Hope, it turned out, was indeed contagious.